Ladies and gentlemen, got no word.
I don't know, man. Hatton's a weird place now, man.
Yeah.
I thought Hatton was prestige back in the day. Now, like, just hooliganism's going on there. And it's like, let's keep it prestige.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, Jacob Hatton! Hello, welcome. Thank you so much for coming out. Why are you here? Hello, my gosh. It's January, it's so cold. It's so cold. Why are you here?
I went to the writing gym earlier on.
Oh, lovely. Went to the writing gym early on, came to see me. What a wonderful way. What a wonderful way to spend your afternoon. Thank you so much for staying in the warm. My name is Jacob Hatton, no jawline, just vibes. Good to be here. Jacob, by the way, Jacob is from the ancient Hebrew, and it's meaning the usurper. And Hatton from the ancient Hebrew, meaning he's got his hat on. I don't wear hats. I don't, you know. People, well, basically it was bullying, childhood bullying. Like, children used to come, they'd take the hat from my head and they'd say, who's got their hat on now? But listen, I remember it, obviously, but I don't know if they do. You know, sometimes with childhood trauma, they don't really. But listen, on their head be it, you know. Joke to warm you up. Not, you know. So this is a work in progress show. So if any of you have not been to a work in progress show before, I'll explain. Essentially, it's the exact same as any other show, except I will occasionally refer to the notes. The notes here just say funny things, sexy dog. Also, what it does mean is that some of these routines, well, in fact, all of these routines, they've been performed in clubs all around the country, and at those places specifically, they have been rated by the audiences as funny jokes. And what I've done is I've taken them out of the context of what they've done, and I'm recontextualizing them here for you in a way that may or may not work, right? And what you are going to do is, it's a bit of work, it's something I do, and what you're going to be doing is marking that work through the medium of, and I can't stress this enough, laughter. You know? Please, like, if you find it funny, basically, I am a lot rides on this, and if you find it funny, please laugh. You know, you seem like a laughing bunch, and that's really nice. It's just that sometimes you do shows, and at the end, they won't be laughing, right? And at the end, they come to you and they say, Jacob, I really enjoyed your show. And I'll say, the only manner in which I would have known that during the show did not emerge, and it led me to assume you didn't, and they say, aha. But in fact, I did enjoy it, but I enjoyed it quietly. You're allowed to do. Now, I will say in a regular context, you're allowed to do that. I feel like I'm already berating you. I feel in a regular context, you are free to do that, free to enjoy things quietly at any point in your life. In this context, where I specifically need to know in the immediate moment, please let me know. think that's all I have to say about that. But it's I'll introduce myself, of course. I'm Jacob Hatton. I'm just nice, quite tall. I've got 2 parents that I know of. I'm somewhat of a traditional fellow, really traditional, in fact, a proper traditional man. So traditional, in fact, that when I watch pornography, I'll only watch the original pornography, when all the women were played by men. The men were played by dinosaurs. Why not? I'm somewhat geeky, of course. You can tell already. I'm somewhat geeky. This is where I'm at. Like when I was younger, when I was 21, 22, I went on a lads pulling holiday to Magaluf. And I'm proud to tell you, Angel Comedy, that during that holiday, I got through 3 fat books on the Bronze Age collapse. I still pulled though. I want you to know that. They love it, the ladies. They're obsessed. They want to hear about it. Hey babe, are you the empire of ancient Mesopotamia? Because I'm the sea peoples I'm planning to smash and then largely disappear from the historical record. They go mad for it. Desperate to hear it. It's been good, man. It's the context of the show essentially is 2024 was one of the worst years of my life. It was a bad year for me. Do you have a nice 2024? Mixed? Yeah, fair. Like most years are. I would say for me, net negative. I worked in the corporate world for years and years and years, 10 years, in fact. And midway through 2024, I lost my job. Now, here's where I was at mentally. In the month after losing my job in 2024, I ate 27 and a half kebabs. But I don't even like kebabs, by the way. It was just to go somewhere where someone was going to call me boss. I fucking needed it. I needed it in my life. Oh, Jacob, you need a new job. No. Oh, you need therapy. No. Oh, you need a wage. No. I needed Mahmoud from Abracadabra Croydon to say to me, would you like salad with that, boss? It makes you feel good. The customer service of the kebab man, and it's a lie, of course it's a lie, but it's a good lie, a white lie, it makes you feel good about yourself. He lies about a lot, the kebab man, but it's only positive things. He lies about whether his is really the best kebabish. He lies about what the hell is within the kebab. That's why I always go for mix, so I'm never, He lies about which Hollywood celebrities have visited his kebab place specifically. Matthew McConaughey! Here! Yeah, boss. Okay, I'll believe you. Thank you, Not like the rest of this country. The rest of this country, they lie to you. And it's bad, the rest of it, you get used, you're lied so much to in this country, you just get used to it, you're gaslit by it every day. Like, here's a lie you're told every day, you've been told, all of you have been told every day of your life, right? Here's a classic lie. This train has Wi-Fi. You all know it's a lie. Like, you knew it. You knew it when you fucking bought it. You knew it when you fucking bought it, and yet, I know all of you will have done the same thing. You've got out your phone and go, maybe this time. Put your little email address in. The one that you just allowed to harvest data from you forever. Just, Jacob Hatton 69 at hotmail.com. It never works, does it? And it's such a little thing to lie about as well. They've been lying about this to you for 12 years, right? Why even say it? They know they're lying. You know they're lying. They might as well just say, listen, this train comes with special L's that suck you off. If you're gonna lie, go nuts. You're bad, man. He makes you feel good. The only person who does in this country. So I've been fired, right? Been fired. Can't work in the corporate world anymore. I do comedy now. Which is lovely, and I know if I work hard and I live my dream and really focus on my goals, they'll let me back in the corporate world. It's better. Way better, you get more benefits, it's a much nicer life. It is. Comedy's a weird job though, because when you do comedy, everyone goes, oh, that's great you do comedy, we'd love to come see you doing your job. And I can't lie, it is not reciprocated by me. You know? And what is your day job, people in the corner? But I do apologise for turning to you. The problem is because it's a work in progress show. I've invited a number of my friends, right? And what's happened is you're the people immediately in front of me who aren't A, them, or B, someone I'm employed by, right? And so I kind of have to. I sort of just like there's going to be times in this show when in other iterations of it the reaction will be more diffuse, but here is going to be very specifically, hey guys, thank you so much for volunteering yourselves. What do you do? Finance. Right. So this is not like I appreciate you. I appreciate what you do. You know, and if you were my friend and you'd said to me, hey, I've got a new job in finance, I can't lie to you. There's no point in that conversation where I'd be like, man, I've got to get to your WeWork one of these days. You know. It's just not going to be part of the interaction. But I'm glad you're here. You know, I need you to be here. I do. I need a lot. I'm poor now. Like, I'm poor. So poor. You know, I'm so poor now that I'm not afraid of ghosts. You know? You ever get that poor you just stop fearing ghosts, fearing the afterlife? Right, it's just because I just feel if I go to a haunted house and I die in that house, like, I'll never afford residential property. I feel like if I go to a haunted house, I die in that house, come back as a ghost, that is at some level property ownership. You know? Like, I'm on the ladder, aren't I? It's Jacob's ladder, I'm fucking on it. I appreciate, by the way, none of you are sympathetic to someone like me saying they're poor. Like, I get it. Like, I know. Like, I understand. Like, I know that I look like Claire Balding had a child with Lord Farquaad from Shrek. Like, I understand how I go. Like, but I'm not even that posh, by the way. I actually attended one of the toughest grammar schools in Kent. Okay? Physically tough, no, but academically, well, quite. Say funny things, you sexy dog. I think I do look like Claire Balding. I also worked out the other day. I look like So, Claire Balding, Sandy Toksvig. Basically, if you're sort of a 60-year-old TV lesbian, I have a vague, but it's like if they worked in a bank. Do you know what I mean? I also worked out. I worked out quite like I'm not from a wealthy background. Like my mum did. Like people ask me, what did your parents do? My mum did dinner lading, and my father booze. You know, that's what it is. But like and the problem is that if you grab my hair, I look like the beheaded head of a French aristocrat, and there's no way of. Some people have asked me, well, how is it that you're from a poor background and you have a posh voice? Like, and a few theories have been presented to me. Number one, I think the weirdest one that was presented to me was undiagnosed autism, which I absolutely hated hearing. Couldn't look the guy in the eyes. But then, to be honest, I've never been good at that. Certainly not since I had the vaccine. I do have a condition related, by the way. It's called dyspraxia. Do any of you know dyspraxia? Any dysprax heads in? Any old dyspraxies? You lying? No, you couldn't follow the fucking directions, could you? It's a good bit if you know what it is. Do you know what dyspraxia is?
No.
No? What? Right, you see this, right? This is the first time I go to someone who isn't you and I know, and they're immediately useless. You guys were the fucking top. Like, that's why you work in finance. You are direct, you know? What do you do? Are you a finance lady too?
No. Sustainability.
Sustainability? Man, like, you work against each other. Are you friends? Got to preserve evil sustainable. We're going to drip poison into the air of this world so slowly. Anyway, that's okay. I have an evil day job too. Just sustainable what? Actually, I should ask.
I work with carbon footprinting.
Oh, yeah. Okay, right. You do work together. That's good. No, but anyway. I can't remember. I was getting to. Do you know what? I started in complimenting you, and I just immediately would derail.
Okay.
I think
I'm the devil's fine.
Yeah. And yet, on the other side, are you the angels?
Angels, for sure.
Yeah. What's your job?
Togo.
Telecommunications.
Oh, sorry, man. You did that Australian thing, but what you did is you just abbreviated it to a level that even we the Brits couldn't. Yeah, you know, back in the day, like, also I think it's because like Australians are still abbreviating. You notice that? Like we like there were years when we were abbreviating fucking anything. We were like Cosy Lives, you know, Platty Juice, and then the world got darker and darker. You know, there's no like this country's so fucked. We ain't abbreviating shit anymore. Like you guys are just you're just yeah, telco, mate. You just want to do. Expect me to fucking know. We are in seasonal depression here. Don't expect us to get on with your. Coming over here with your strong currency and your smiles. Anyway, I have dyspraxia, right? For those of you who don't know, dyspraxia is to eye-hand coordination what dyslexia is to spelling. That's roughly what it. Like I am clinically clumsy. Like how many dyspraxic people does it take to change a light bulb? Doesn't matter. First one's broken it. It's tough being unemployed and dyspraxic because, well, I've been trying to live hand to mouth, but I just. I keep missing. A dyspraxic person can have sex. But, just like a dyslexic at the end of a school exam, you're going to have to give us an extra 15 minutes. And a school laptop. And a specially qualified SEN member of staff. I said that to her. Actually, you know what? I've had a couple of chats with you guys in the crowd. I'll let you in like that. I said that to a room in Liverpool the other week, right? And I had the maddest response I've ever heard. Like, basically, I was like, "Oh, dyspraxic can have sex, blah blah blah," and this voice just in the back in the darkness just called out, "But you can eat pussy though." I said, "Elaborate." I was trying to buy time, man. I had no idea what he was talking. I was like, "What are you talking about?" And he just started yelling, "Spell a word." I'm like, what? Go spell? Oh, it took me ages to work out what he was referring to. What I realized it really fast. I was like, I clicked. He was talking about that like 90s, like Nuts magazine myth that to correctly carry out cunnilingus, like what you're supposed to do is spell a word with your tongue, right? I think that was his thing. I think he was trying to support my disability. I think he was trying to be supportive. He was saying, you know, like a dyslexic, they can't spell. They can't eat pussy, but you are dyspraxic. You can spell, you can. I think he was trying to lift me up. I think he was trying to support me. Honestly, Angel, all it did was just unlock a new anxiety in me. I did not realize until then it was the spelling that counted, you know? Just imagine myself there, just ages, just doing absolutely nothing for her. And after a while, I'm like, "Darling, what's wrong?" And she says, "There are 2 R's and an H in diarrhea." A couple of groans in the corner, I'll take that on the feedback list. It's been, my mum's in. They'd be proud of me. It's been a hard year. You know, I've been unemployed for a while, and my friends they've been worried about me. You know, they've been so my friends are worried about me, but they're kind of like I don't know how old you all think I am. I've just become middle-aged. I mean, I'm 33, but you know, climate change. It's also a lie. 35. Don't know why. I think I was 33 when I wrote that joke. It's like sadder and sadder as it got on. My friends are kind of men of my age, you know, and they're worried about me, but they can't just say we're worried about you. They're emotionally repressed like me, so they just, I know they're worried about me because I'm like sat at home, unemployed and sad, and just middle of the day, they just text me a fact about sports from the year 2003. It's out of the blue, you know, I'll be there, I'll just be sat there and just hear, ding. Hey, do you remember when Scott Parker used to do bits for Charlton in 2003? And I know you know what that, like, I think it's nice. You know, they can't, because I know what they mean. You know, they can't just say, oh, Jacob, you know, recently you've been really distant from us, and you know, I'm starting to get concerned about you, and yeah, but you know, in the past we had good times together, but it just seems like I don't want you to do anything major. I'm just getting concerned about you, and I'm reaching out, and they can't do that, you know, so they have to send me that. But I want to reply, you know, thanks so much, mate. Like I really appreciate you reaching out to me, you know, and like I want you to know that even though things seem down for me right now, like I'm getting through it, I'm not going to do anything dramatic, but also like I'm of that age and generation too, and I can't say that, so I just reply, hey, do you remember when Paula Radcliffe shat herself during the marathon? We all know, you know. We're a good bunch, man. Like they recently invited me to a party where it's a sort of party that you go to a lot in your 30s, where basically there used to be drugs, and there are now dips. You know? You know those parties, man. Like the guys that bring the dips are the same people that used to bring the drugs, you know? And like they approach it in roughly the same way as well. They're so fucking into it. They're like, hey man, you try my tzatziki. Have a dab on that, mate. I've got a guy, they say. Used to be, they say, here's the player. Used to be, you had to get it from the Turkish. Real move now, Albanians. You know, you sit there, you're having that tzatziki, and like they're the kind of guy, like I said, you know, they used to be a bit wild. We used to be kind of wild, used to some drink, used to some drugs. I'm not boasting about it, I'm just saying that's what we used to do, you know, and some of them now, they're peaceful, they have kids, they've tried to replace all of that, but I will say they are making an increasingly desperate a place for it. For example, a friend of mine, he's like, the thing is, Jacob, I don't need no drugs because exercise is my drug, and I'm like, I don't think it is. And the way I know that is you can't get kicked out of fabric for doing too many squats. Now this is interesting because this is just a context with which I hadn't, like, I'm going to say exactly the same that I said to the man in Liverpool, elaborate. You totally could. Now it seems like you're challenging me. So I guess there's in what would you have it? I guess I'd have to walk to the bouncer myself and say, hey man, I think I can out squat you. And he would have to say, can you just go in? And I'd have to be very, very insistent about it as a sort of contextual, and then we'd have to do. We are derailing my bit though, but I'm glad you brought it up. Like I think that you can't get kicked out of fabric for doing too many squats, and it's not the rules, and I know that because I've seen them. You know, no one's fucking. Like, listen, man. Like, at the end, like, no one's confiscating your creatine on the way in. That's what I'm saying. You know. And they're all the bouncers and the bar staff sharing it between each other. At the end, you know, like there's like wanted posters of Joe Wicks, the body coach, around. I keep saying funny things, funny man. I'm glad he's turning things around. He has a kid now. Like a lot of my friends, they're dads. You know, they have kids, and that's good. You know, they have kids. They're still kind of the same people though. Like they have kids. Like a friend of mine, right, who was at the party. She had an Instagram account where she used to put loads of photos of her and her new baby on the Instagram account. And then she read an article about paedophiles seeing your Instagram account, and she became very scared of that. But she also thought she looked really hot in the photos. So, like, instead of just deleting the photos, what she did is she used AI to Photoshop her child out of all the photos. But the problem is that, and like, they do look good now, but the problem is I know that the child was there, you know? It looks like she's Stalin in this photo, and her child is just like a partisan who's displeased her. And everyone else is going like, hot photo. I'm like, where the fuck did Mark go? Siberia? Like, no, yeah, they have their kids. Look, their parents now they got kids, you know, and they're always trying to recruit me to become a dad, you know, so they can like involve me in all their lame dad shit. Like, and then one of them, well, at the party, he came up to me and he was just like, Jacob, you gotta put a baby in your wife. which is, by the way, absolutely insane saying this. No, man, after a while, I lost it. I was like, listen, man, like, I thought, well, you know, let's ask, what's it like being a dad? And he looks at me and his eyes just sort of rolled back into his head. And he just paused and he went, it's hell. I've been awake, he said, for 76 hours. And when I see this thing I've created, my partner, and I look at it, I see every dream, every ambition that I've ever had, and I also see every fear that I've ever had for myself. I see imprinted in this space, and this creature, this beast that never sleeps, that never stops feeding. It is my Beelzebub, it is my fear, it is my dream, it is my doom. And then he paused, his eyes rolled back, and he said, best thing I've ever done. Put a little tick for that laugh. I don't know what I did to elicit it, but I just remember, get that back, you know. Best thing I've ever done. And I wondered, like, I'm not in a position to do it, you know. I'm not in a position, I've been unemployed now, but it's the right time, but I'm not in the position to do it. I'm unemployed, I'm poor. I live in a place called Catford. Do you guys know it? Yeah, 1 year. Okay, well, a few knows. Like, it's not actually nice, but it's not a great part of London. Like, there were five armed muggings in a single week the other week outside my flat, right? And like one thing I will say, I don't think, like, there's a lot of crime. I don't think they really take it too seriously there. And the way I know that is they printed an image that they're taken of the CCTV of the muggers. And as far as I can tell from that image, like, at best these people would be mugged by the Babadook, and at worst a sort of Isha-esque surrealist montage based on the quality of that CCTV, right? And yet, when I drove through the bus lane on that exact same stretch of road, the picture of me, that's like a lot in philosophy, the whole discipline of philosophy is to work out who is you, what is you. That picture was fucking me. Me in my Ford Fiesta. You could never be less me. You could see the kebab stains down my shirt through the window. And all I could think was, if you want to mug someone, just don't do it in my fucking car, right? Also, that bus stop was closed. Do you know how mad that bus stop... Sorry, the bus stop was closed. What? I don't know if any of you, like, as are in TFL here. How does that even happen? It was just there. What are you doing? Just fucking take Wednesdays off, you know? Have a little mental health day from having buses stop next to you. What do you even do with your time? Oh, we used to delay the time. We used to display the time the bus came. Oh, do you do that now? No. But we do shut on Wednesday afternoons sometimes. And if Jacob drives past you, he's fucked. He pays 150 quid. Also, I know who did we all know who did it. I know who did the muggings, right? Because there's a group of local teenagers who hang around by my bins who made a rhythmic poem about the muggings that was so absurdly detailed that only they could possibly have been in that location. It's a good bit as well. I like the beat. It was a strong... I like rap. I will say, I think... Like, I'm trying to have an artistic career, and I think about art, so I do think that I love rap and hip-hop, and I think that's probably the only art form that I could never make a solid contribution to. You know? I was thinking this. I was thinking, the only way I could really get involved is I could just jump on their tunes and use my real-life legal training to just, like, give disclaimers about every line, just be like, yeah, I'll shift man up. I'm like, this refers to his MVQ in cooking technology. You know? They made a little, they're good, they're pretty good at it, you know. They're talented. They once came up to me, right, as I was parking, and like, one of them just said to me, you know how you just sit, whenever you park up, you just sit for a minute in your car looking sad? And I was like, yeah. And he said, can we film you doing that and use it in a rap video? And I said, in what context? And they said, what we're gonna do is we're gonna hire a Mercedes and dance by it and flash between pictures of us stunting with a Mercedes and you looking sad in your Fiesta, and then we'll look like really good rappers. And I wanted to say no, but I knew they'd already done it. You know what I mean? Like, I know they've done it. They've very much asked for forgiveness, not permission. You know. Where we at? Yeah, let's say I live there. I live with my wife. She's lovely though. She's from the north. It's nice. She calls me a soft southerner, and I'm like, listen, that can happen to all of us. It's not certainly at my age. A wife and a cat. I got like a little cat. Love my cat. You know, I imported my cat from Romania. Did you know you can do that? No, yeah, neither did I. We imported her from Romania, and I don't mean to sound Reform Party about this, but like, she does not, as an immigrant, she does not contribute to this economy. You know, we imported her from Romania, and like two things about that. Number one, the website was just like, this cat has lived a really sad life in Romania. She was on the street in Romania. Why don't you bring her to the UK? And because you look cute, we were like, yeah, let's do it. We don't know if that's true. Like, we've got like video evidence of like her movement being in. I don't know. You know, she could just been someone else's cat, and now she lives with me. And also, the process of getting her over was way more, I'm going to say this, people trafficky than I'd expected. Like, I had to drive to a car park in Kent, right? And a large van pulled up, and a man who I can really only describe as aggressively nightclub bouncer-ish, got out of the van and turned around to me and looked at me and goes, "You have passport?" And I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "I have cats." And then he opened the side of the van, and there were, I'm going to say, 150 cages, with which he produced my thing, put it in my car, and said, "It is illegal to do this in shop." And then I drove home, and now I have a cat, and I am concerned I've violated a number of international treaties in getting one. She's cool. You know, I love her to bits. She's great. What I do with her most, my favorite thing, is I just kind of just sit here and talk to her. You know, just tell her about all my theories, fucking thoughts. Just sit there, give it a little stroke. Do you any cat people in? Do you guys have clumping litter? Do you guys use clumping cat litter? You ever go in there and just pretend you're like like archaeologist, getting the old dinosaur? Get the old dinosaur bones out. Is it a velociraptor? No, it's a poo. No, it's that. Just. This is a point I am going to have to consult the notes, by the way. Just for want to make you aware of that. Like, just in there. So that's how I'm gonna get those. It's been a hard year. I know. It's been a hard year. No, it's been weird. You know, they'll let me back into the corporate world, I'm sure. But if not, you know, it's me and you in it. I've got ideas for businesses. I was thinking, well, you know, like emotional support dogs. Sorry, no, not dogs. You know, emotional support dog. I was thinking like. You know, like you could hire out like emotional support humans for those dogs, like so they can spend like 5 minutes with someone who's in such a fucking loser all the time. You know what I mean? You don't like that? All right. How about this? Right. Get like I'm pitching. I'm gonna pitch you. The Make-A-Wish Foundation, but for the children who are evil. Don't look at me like that. What are you doing? I'm not weird. You're weird. Got a slogan for it and everything. You know, like some of them want Disneyland, some of them want revenge. Like I just. Not going for it. It's fine. I think that's. By the way, I don't actually have a way to get out of this bit. Gary was just like recently written, so I'm just gonna. the problem is when you write a work in progress, you kind of do, I'm going to talk to my cat for ages and throw out increasingly surreal business ideas. But like, the purpose of doing this show is to work out which bit I need to get out of, so I'm just going to keep saying them for a bit and then... You know the kind of beers that millennials drink. Yeah, you know the ones that with like, the one they've all got like the story of the can on it, and each individual it's like artisanally made. Yeah, they have like, no, they're fucking horrible, aren't they? Just like, why would you like our entire generation? Are you millennials?
Are we getting you out of this?
Oh no! Are you guys millennials? No, you seem kind of young. You're either but you're Australians. You could just look great. I don't know. You're kind of sexy guys. What are you? Are you Gen Z or millennials or what? Are you young?
94.
94? Aye, that's fucking millennial. Okay, you just look good. That's what happens when you live a happy life. There and you know those the IPAs we all drink with the. Yeah, I mean, like, it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be an IPA. It doesn't have to be. It could be. I just think that we should be doing this for products that millennials use now, like Viagra. Each pill box has like the story of the brand. Like, we're two brothers who set up on a mission to create the hottest dicks in Europe. Each pill, like, you know how, right? You know how like Lush has like each you know like Lush Pro, like each pill's just got like a little sticker with the Peruvian boy that gives you that hard on. This erection was created by Pepito. I actually don't have a way out of this, but I sit there and talk to my cat. I listen to hip hop. But I'm glad I did this, right? I'm glad I did this because basically the purpose of it is to work out whether I think I will find a way out of that bit. But what I will do now is begin to conclude the show, right? Because I'll tell you how I got fired. Actually, I think that's a good way of getting out of this. I used to work. I worked from home. I worked from home for the last sort of few years. Any of you guys work from home? Yeah. Do you like it? Yeah, that's the right answer. That's the right answer, I think, because like it's amazing that I get to spend loads of time with my wife and family. Obviously, I keep a little picture of my office on my desk at all times, just so I always remember who I'm doing it for. But it's hard. Like the thing with work is you spend all your time. Like I'm a competitive boy. I'm not good at sports or anything like that, but I'm a competitive guy. You know, I'm like you can't win when you're working from home. You just have to do your job. That sucks. What the hell, you know? It's not the culture of this country to just do your job. You know, we try and fight. We fight. Work is horrible. You fight. You war. You always try and win. Like, you know why we all. Like when we were back in the office, you'd remind yourself of this every year, right? Because you'd all sit in the office and then on your birthday, you'd get a caterpillar cake, right? And you'd all sit around and you'd all blow out the candle on the cake, and then because it's your birthday, you would just eat the head of the caterpillar, right? And that was a symbolic ritual to remind you that if you ever attempt to become a beautiful butterfly, your colleagues will fucking eat you. You know? But in the office, right, you could assert your dominance. You know what I mean? Like, this is how you do in the finance world. You can assert your dominance. Like, and the way, like, so for example, in the office, my boss, he'd call me into a meeting, right? And you know it's an important meeting because he would have important meeting food out. Now, office workers, you know this food, right? It's the plate of M&S sandwiches, bowl of crisps, jug of orange juice. It's power food. It's a power move. You know you're not really supposed to eat any of that food. You got to show him his boss, you know? You got to show him. You know what you do, right? You know what you do. What do you do?
Don't touch it.
Don't touch. No, what? Don't touch. Actually, that is kind of meta. You know what I mean? He doesn't want me to touch it. I'm not going to touch it. Real sensei in the front. No, I will say that's not most people. Most people just say eat the food, right? And those people are cucks. Eat the food. No. eat the food. What you do, right? You get the sandwich. You open up the sandwich. You place crisps inside the sandwich. Then you get the bread of the sandwich and you just crunch it. Crunch. Stare your boss in the eyes the whole time you're doing it. What's your boss's name? Gary. Stare Gary the whole time. This is like, crunch it down. Just stare Gary in the eyes the whole time you're doing it. Just crunch. I had to test this material somewhere. Stare Gary in the eyes the whole time you're doing it, crunch it down. Then you know what you do. Right? You get that sandwich, you dip it in the orange juice, you start swilling it down like a pelican eating a kipper. Right? Sorry, do you guys not do this? No? Stare in the, like, dip it in the, crunch the bread, dip it in the orange juice, start swilling it down like a pelican eating a kipper, just crunch, Gary. Crunch, Gary. Gary, he can't look anywhere. He's like, fuck me. Assertive and creative. What's he gonna do next? Steal my job or fuck my wife? Ideally, both. Can't do that working from home. I tried it. Tried it once. Can't do that on Teams. I tried, like what I did is I found out where my boss lived. I Google image searched his house. I just made the background of my Teams his house. Signed in. Crunch, I said, hang on, what the hell is this? I said nothing. Smash cut to a picture of his car. Cut to a picture of his kids. He said, how do you feel about kebabs? You're gonna be eating a lot over the next month. I'm the boss now. I'll tell you one more thing before I leave, I think I'll tell you one more thing, right? And actually, will I? Because I've just realised I'm actually hard running out of time. I've got a 10-minute story to end this, but will I? I think I will. I think it's a good bit, but blah 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 blah. Yeah. I went on holiday last year. It was good, you know. You go on holiday? Why not? Why not get into that? I went on holiday. I went to Venice. It was amazing. Went to I did all. It was like, have you been to Venice? Oh, it's unreal. You should go. You know, use some of that sustainability money to subsidize your finance career. You can go. Yeah, sustainability. You can go to Venice and see in real life the city sinking. And you can go, I am needed. But I went to Venice. It was amazing. I did all my favorite things. I was just like. I saw some of the most wonderful Renaissance art on the planet. Caravaggio, you know, amazing. Saw some of the most wonderful architecture ever created. You know, and then I did my favorite thing. Then I did my favorite thing to do, which is I went to the McDonald's in Venice, and I ate every item on their €1 saver meal, €1 saver menu. That is slightly different from the items on our £1 saver menu. I was like, Mook lasagna. Yeah, just as Nonna makes it. And what wine pairing would Sir like with his McNuggets? I loved it. You know, I think my key thing about the McDonald's in Europe and the McDonald's here is they do booze there. Do you know that? They do booze there. That's amazing. And the thing that I just think it tells us a lot about our respective civilizations, right? Because I just think if you told an alien who'd never been to Europe or anything about it, you said there is one island just off Europe where they do not give you booze, and there are McDonald's, and there is a whole continent where they give you booze. And also on the island where they do not give you booze, they sometimes play classical music in that McDonald's. which is the most civilized place? You would say Europe you would say the UK without even thinking, and you would be so wrong. So wrong. I love it. My McDonald's in Catford, they play classical music all night. It's unreal. They play it all night. And the problem with that is all it does is just set the kind of local youth beefs and knife fights to a sort of gladiator-esque ambience. They just never, they're just like without that, they're just guys being like, yeah, still you said that to me, Chaya. And then but with the music, they're like, I'm Maximus Decimus Aurelius. Sounds incredible, right? But my friend, like when I go on holiday, by the way, I just go on holiday. That's my thing. I don't go traveling. Lots of people who I know that are like my age have been traveling. Like traveling. Ugh. Yeah. I don't like it. Australians. You're always going traveling. Pretentious. Stop. People who go traveling, they always come back with mad stories about traveling. They're like, listen, Jacob. We've been traveling. We've been to Malawi. And you know what? You will never. They'll say you'll never understand true poverty until you've been to Malawi. I can't afford to go to Malawi. So I guess it's just an insight only money can buy. Anyway, listen, thank you all so much. It's been really lovely having you here. Thank you so much for coming and listening. I hope you enjoyed it. I certainly enjoyed talking to you, and I personally have received enough feedback to do this show better. So, in the future, and if you would like to see it in the future, please do. If you would like to follow me, you can do so. It's on. Please do it online though. It's Jay. Like my car's outside, I will lock the doors. You can follow me on J Hatton Comedy on Instagram or TikTok, which I do not post on because I'm not a nonce. And I'm 35 years old. It's too, you know what I mean? Like they're like, you got to build a following on TikTok. I'm like, no. Are you fucking insane? No. I will speak to people. I once had someone like I don't mean to brag, right? I don't mean to brag, but I once had someone proposition me after a gig, and they sent me an email, and they were like, and attached to the email were like several nudes, and they were like, your wife's gorgeous, and you're kind of funny. Would you like to get together with me? And I'll tell you why I turned them down. It's because they email from a fucking Hotmail account. I mean, also, the real reason, but they emailed me from a fucking Hotmail account. I was like, no. If you accept a proposition from someone on a Hotmail account, you are going on the sex offenders register, right? The point is, follow me on Instagram, J Hatton Comedy. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you.
It's okay. It's not going. That's alright. No, turn it off.
Thanks for coming, guys. It was super useful. Thanks so much for letting me run all night. Nonsense in front of it. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for thanks for letting me run all my nonsense. The thing is, it's true what I say from the stage. There's going to be like a where I can keep saying it, but the only way to work out trying to ages and work out the way out is. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for coming. Thanks so much, guys.
Car is a white Range Rover, but for now she's got a Fiat 500. I'm on a night out. Well, mate, Dino's just chilling there. Lads, you won't fucking believe it. My kids are doing this shit again.
Well, thank you.
I'm with Dino, Smithy, Chaz and Big John. God's plan by Drake, our favourite song. Going all power on where we belong. Doing more cocaine than me alone. So let's night out, but you know what they say. What happens at the hour, stays is still play. The lads are looking for a I'm looking nice, special toothpaste to make. That's what I do. I like that. But I want them tighter. Don't smoke, I vape, don't need a lighter. show me one it's just too excited.
Well, now as well, you can just tell him how
Anthony Joshua.
Like, nah, he's going to be working there for ages.
Thanks so much, man. Yeah, mate. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, I'm glad I saw that. Enjoyed it. It's good to see it live. Wouldn't have,
Yeah, so basically, there's a whole chunk which I need to work in, which is the